I can't. Oh my god. So, Saja boys bow, and then hunters bow more, and then they bow more deeper down and they basically make some type of competition, right? This is actual things of what happens in Korea sometimes. In order to fix Rumi's voice, Joy has an idea, or 57 ideas, but one of the favorite one of her was Han Yi-won. So they went to a certain place to get a tonic, and that's a Korean traditional hospital, let's say, or Korean traditional medicine place. So in Korea, besides the modern medicine or a modern hospital, we have another type of the hospital. That type of a hospital is called the Han Yi-won. And they just made a pun here, like they say Han and then Korean writing, which is called the Yi-won. And then the Yi-won is an old word for basically a doctor's practice or doctor's office, and then Han, doctor's office. But the name normally for the Korean medicine, we call it Han Yi-won. And then Korean medicine is basically sort of alternative medicine. It is considered as a great way to deal with some type of the illness. Surprisingly, sometimes they can deal with some problem what modern medicine cannot deal with. And the Han Yi-won or the Korean medicine is really huge in Korea, and it is also recognized as a proper medicine in Korea, as far as I know. And it's really popular, especially for the old generation. Like my father's generation, for example, they love Han Yi-won, the Korean medicine. My mother and father also go there quite often. They also do acupuncture or make some tonics, as you can see in the movie. And it is also surprising that Joey think it's one of the best idea because it's normally for old people. And the young people don't care much about the Korean medicine, I would say. And especially Joey was raised in America, but she's familiar with this kind of the medicine, which is very surprising. So here you can see as soon as the doctor came into the place, the three of them stand up and then bowing. And yeah, that's what they should do to be polite. When some others came in to their space, then they gotta stand up and then they just say hi. But not hi, but bowing. Hi. And it shows them they are polite. Well done. And the view of the Han Yi-won, the Korean medicine place, was quite pleasant. You often can see all the little things what you saw in the movie, like the price or the certificates, and then also the sculpture which shows the hand, and based on the Korean medicine theory, like which part of the hands is connected to which part of the organs or other part of the body, so that we can actually cure whole. So we do massage or do acupuncture on the hand based on the theory those kind of part is connected to the certain organs. The doctor see the members and then he said something very likely what is based on the Korean medicine actually. He said, if you want to treat the part, you gotta see the whole. And then that is the main idea of the Korean medicine. The approach of the Korean medicine is not just to try to fix the certain part you have a problem. They try to deal whole of your body. For example, like you have a headache, but maybe the headache is not based on just the head, but it might connect it to the gut or something like that, as an example. And then if you want to treat the certain part, you need to see the whole. That's what he said. You might miss something if you focus on one thing too much. That's what he's saying. I'm pretty sure the producer knows about that idea, and then he put it there, and then the doctor actually knows a lot, surprisingly. It actually looks like a psychic, right? He just knows about everything. Yeah, I found this scene is more entertaining because he's not simply just saying random things, but he's saying something what other Korean doctor might have said. Does it make sense? And I would like to mention the background of the Han Yi-won or Korean traditional medicine. You can see a lot of little drawers background here. That one is also very common view you can see from the Korean medicine. Then they put a lot of ingredients of the word portions or tonic. And Saja Boys. Here the background music you can listen to is from idol group called EXO, Love Me Right. I didn't know that, I just googled it. But anyway, that's also from the real K-pop idol song. After that, Jinu showed up and there was such a K-drama music came out with a slow motion. They made it so well. They made it so well as if it is a K-drama. Name of the song is called 사랑인가봐. Maybe it's love, or I guess it's love from Melomans. Like Melomans is one of the really popular K-ballad, the Korean ballad singer, and he makes a lot of sweet songs. They just put it here. And that song is actually used for actual K-drama, and probably they used it in a very romantic moment with the slow motion. I didn't watch the drama, but I'm pretty sure they use it in that way, and then they just put it here. As soon as the song is came out, I was started laughing and I was just singing together because it's like a really common song, really popular song in Korea. Everybody knows it, I'm pretty sure. 함께 하고 싶은 일들을 상상하는 게 요즘 내 일상이 되고. And then Saja Boys showed up. The group name Saja Boys is wordplay actually. And then you can see the lion on the mark. One of the reasons why their mark is lion is because Saja in Korean is lion. But they're not really lion boys. You remember I mentioned before the sort of demon they are, or they are actually Grim Reaper or the messenger. They called the chosen Saja. And then Saja Boys is actually named from chosen Saja, I assume. But they just made a wordplay because there is a word called Saja. Simply Saja means lion, and then chosen Saja has the same letter, basically chosen Saja. And then they made this homonym as a wordplay. So the Saja Boys at the same time lion boys, but also chosen Saja Boys. Oh my god. See the three ladies, probably middle-aged ladies there. Basically they have the same hairstyle, very same fashion. That's actually the weird thing in Korea. They are typical middle-aged women who we normally call ajumma. It's just like a group of people we indicate like a certain age group. And this kind of fashion was very common back in the day because I don't see this one very often, but at least the hairstyle is everywhere in that kind of age. And then the middle-aged or maybe old-age ladies, we call it ajumma, and these are the iconic fashion style of the ajummas. And they just put it so accurate. They always have this type of the hair, and they sometimes has a sunglass cap. I don't know like how does it called in exactly in English, but it's a sun cap. There's a sunglass on it here. They always have a colorful clothes, typically flower patterns. And then you can see sometimes in Korea, actually they made it so accurate. Even the way how they hyped about the young boys. And oh my god, can't believe it, they actually made it out of Korea because it looks like they made a great portrait of the Korean people as a Korean. Who made this? Really? They all look the same and I cannot tell the difference. Not gonna lie, sometimes me as a Korean, I cannot tell the difference of them. And I would like to ask, do you guys have a specific fashions of the certain age people in your country? If you have, please leave it on the comment. I'm really curious, but in Korea at least there is that looks like that, then they just portray it really well. In the middle of the soda pop song, Saja Boys is helping people. Here, they help a girl who is holding a condor. And then the condor thing is really typical Korean street food, I would say. Like, yeah, of course, it's everywhere, but in Korea it's very common. That's really good. We just put the mustard and the ketchup, other sauces inside it there. There's sometimes sausage or cheese or some rice cake or duck, and that tastes good. And look at the outside. It doesn't look interesting. So if you come to Korea, you gotta try this one. And the next scene, the Saja Boys giving some present to the kids, but before the present, and the kids are holding books, and it's not just a normal books. On the books is written down physics and biology, and apparently they look like under 10 years old. Can you imagine learning some introduction of the physics and the biology, what normally university students learn, but the kids are learning there? Some people might say, oh, that's nonsense, there's no chance the kids actually learn that. But in Korea, that is quite possible because it's a sad thing in Korea. We are so competitive, and then sometimes we put too much effort to education. Some parents, they forced to study a lot. Not just only a lot, but they just learn some things previously. So for example, middle school students learn something what they are supposed to learn in high school so that they can be more competitive and then better than others. And then the elementary school people learn something for the middle school already because they want the elementary school boys go to better middle school so that they can go to the better high school. And then the kindergarten kids, they learn something for elementary or even more advanced than elementary school so that they can get into the better school. And then even some kids before the kindergarten, they go to certain type of thingy, not really school, but like some type of they get some type of the lesson which they are supposed to learn in the elementary school or even sometimes in high school. Some parents are forcing them to learn something much earlier than they should, which is a huge problem. I think it's a kind of torture. It's a torture that they are forcing their kids to learn those kind of things. At the time, they have a much better things they deserve. There are more important things, I would say, like how to interact with people, the emotion, have to develop their personality somehow. And They also need to have some fun, right? And then you can actually learn a lot how to interact with other people, or making friends, or socializing, or just having fun is what they need to do. But instead, sometimes they just study a lot. 10 years old kid come back from the school at 10 p.m. Can you imagine? Anyway, I'm not sure if it's sort of a satire from the producer, but they just put these kids with very advanced books, very difficult books like physics and biology. And the producer actually care about that idea maybe, and they made us some type of the satire. I don't know. I found it shocking. When the song Soda Baba is going on, at some point that they change the color of the whole environment, whole surrounding area, right? And then in the middle of the picture you can see the K booth, like sticker 사진, like a sticker picture, like a photo. And that's basically a photo booth. You probably have seen sometimes if you watched K-drama or maybe some TV shows. I don't know, like we love photos. And we have some type of studio, the little selfie studio. It's everywhere, literally, especially like around like a Hongdae. You can see that kind of the photo studio or photo booth thingy every 10 meters. And what you do is like you meet your friends, and then you hang out, and then you go to this kind of a room or booth, and then you make pictures. It's very common. Like some friends of mine, they go to the photo booth every time they hang out, and then they make every time the photos. And that's really common thing in Korea. And then they also did here in the movie. They actually portray the Korea very well. In this scene, they're doing spice food challenge or spice food competition. Is it a random thing for you? But in Korea, at least, it's not a random thing. They actually do. People do this kind of a competition, and we love spicy food. Korean people are crazy about the spicy food. Sometimes we are too much crazy about the spicy food. They like it too much. They love it too much. They sometimes make food extremely spicy. So first of all, like most of the food in Korea is spicy, not gonna lie, but we get used to it, and we don't think it's even spicy. We think kimchi is not spicy at all. Some people are super into spicy food, and that they make it extremely spicy. And then some type of the unspoken competition going on, and then some people think the more spicy you can handle, the cooler or the better you are. And then people actually make a competition in real life with the spicy food, and then they just go to a certain restaurant to challenge the most spicy food ever, which is so spicy that possibly can damage your stomach, which I don't understand. And then because of that kind of culture that we love spicy food, and the spicy food are so common, so in some type of the entertaining shows or the TV show, they sometimes make a spicy food challenge or a spicy food competition, which you can see in this show as well. So I think it's not a coincidence. Producers are aware of the culture, and then they just made a spicy food competition, which is also very common in Korea in real life. And don't ask me why they are wearing the baby bob or the pink. I have no idea for that. Here, Rumi said, "Oh, I just came here to congratulate Hube and support our Hube." What is a Hube? In Korea, there is some type of the system like a Sunbe, Hube. Sunbe means seniors, or someone who came to that institutions or school, for example, earlier than others. And then Hube is basically the junior, or like the new people get into that field later. For example, as a university, like the other people who are already in the school, they're gonna be Sunbe, and then the new student, the freshmen, they're gonna be Hube. In music area, especially, is very strict. Like whenever who debut later, they are considered as a Hube, like considered as a newbies, and then they are supposed to show some respect to the people who already debuted, and they are Sunbe. Sunbe normally just try to take care of the Hube, the new people. That kind of system is like very strict in Korea, especially for music area. Somebody just came here into that field earlier, they are somehow higher position, and that we need to be super polite, and then we need to be respectful to them. That's what Rumi says here. Like Rumi came here, and then, oh, this is our Hube, because Sajab was just debuted, and then like, oh yeah, we just here to congratulate Hube's debut, hahaha, or something like that. And if you're a K-pop fan, you might heard the terms Sunbe and Hube, and as you probably know, like Korea is crazy about the politeness, and then that matters a lot. And that is what she meant. That's a Hube and the Sunbe system. I can't. Oh my god. This scene, I love this one. Oh my god. I found it so funny here. Let me explain. So, Saja boys bow, and then Hunter is bow more. and then they bow more deeper down and deeper down, and they basically make some type of competition, right? I found it so funny because yeah, not only just the scene itself is funny, but also this is actual things of what happened in Korea sometimes. So bowing is a culture of ours. Like in Korea, everybody bows. And when you say hi, thank you, sorry, bye, then we bow. Typically, we are recommended to bow around this 30 degrees. If you gotta be more polite and more formal, then maybe 45 degrees or something like that. But sometimes you go down deeper than 90 degrees like that, totally bend over. If you want to be super duper showing respect, or you want to sell some product to your customer, or maybe you're saying hi or bye or thank you extremely to your boss of your gang, and if you're a gangster, those kind of things happen. And there's also some type of situation that you both need to show the respect or the politeness. In that case, sometimes they want to go deep down more and more. I think it happens also in Japan sometimes. And they just bent over more, basically make a competition each other that who's gonna be more polite one or respectful one on the public. Some people actually do that, as you can see here, for example. They go really deep down, and there's an actual thing here happening in real life in Korea, but they also put it in the movie. Oh my god. And I appreciated the effort, all the details of these kind of things of the producers. What the heck? The Saja boys ran away, and then hunters are chasing for them, and they went to a bathhouse. You can also see the number 24 hours here, and then it's a very typical things in Korea. We have a bathhouse for 24 hours. It's called the 목욕탕 or 찜질방, and they just put it here. Also, typically in a man's bathhouse, there is a barber who shave your beard or cut your hair as well, which you can see from this mark over here. And then fighting scenes, there is a water demon comes out, and then the water demon or water ghost in Korea is considered as the most deadly and then dangerous one. One of the most scary horror stories that we normally talk about. They actually put it here. I'm not sure if they are aware of it, but the water demon or water ghost is like one of the most deadly, dangerous thing. And then as soon as I just saw that, like, ooh, water demon, dangerous. That's what I thought. Next scene, Jinu is alone, and then you see the normal street of Korea. It's like a residential area, which the street is really narrow, like not big. And then you see the yellow letters here is called the 주차금지, which means not allowed to park. And people park anyway in Korea. I would say it's a kind of Korean thing. It's a little bit embarrassing to say that, but we have a lot of places where you're not allowed to park, but we just park anyway. We also have a lot of area which is a no smoking area, and then you still smoke, and then you see like hundreds of the cigarettes over there after burn. And they just made it too accurate, like there is a not allowed parking, and then they just park there. I really appreciate how the art team made the whole Seoul view pretty accurate. It gives me a lot of the Seoul vibe there. And then you can also find it from this scene. On the background you see the huge river. And that river is called the Han River, which flows across the Seoul. That one is really beautiful. It is also very big, like compared to like other European cities. River is incomparably big. The diameter is gonna be a kilometer sometimes, so it's really long. It has a great night view as well. It looks beautiful. Whenever you're planning to come to Seoul, this is the place where you must see. Go to the Han River, and then the riverside. There are a lot of parks, and then you gotta try there. It looks really beautiful. And then the art team made a really good job here. Even the bird is wearing this hat, the god. And then this god, as I explained, that this is a special hat back in the day for upper class, and then he's wearing it. And I found it really cool as well. And the tiger, the adorable tiger here. I don't know, I found this super cute, adorable. And what do you think about it? Do you think it's cute or creepy? But the design of the tiger is not a random design. They actually made a design or take the idea of the design from the traditional Korean painting. Back in the day in Korea, there were a lot of tigers, and then the tiger was one of the main topic of the painting. So in Europe, often they draw of the gods and then the mythology. In Korea, it was tiger, because tiger is a holy animal or dangerous animal as well. I don't know why. There are a lot of painting exist, like a tiger, and then also the bird. Then we put the tigers and the bird in the same pictures, and then mostly all the tiger looks really creepy, weird. Eyes often goes to the random place. You can see that from the pictures, and then that's a traditional painting everybody knows in Korea because it was in the text. They made a tiger really cute from that painting, and it's adorable. And then his behavior tried to keep making everything stand, like the fall down bucket, fall down pot. Adorable. And I don't understand why they didn't put the name of the tiger. It'd be great if the tiger has like a specific name rather than just a tiger. Yeah, why they didn't put there? Why? I need it! Rumi opened the letter, which is really wet. There's a Korean writing written down, which is 만날래. And there is names Jinwoo. I'm pretty sure even if you learn the Korean writing system, it's not that easy to read this text because it's written down in a specific font, some artistic traditional font. So it is actually very easy to read for Koreans, but if you're not Korean and if you're not really familiar with the old Korean writing style, you might find it difficult. But basically it is written down as a 만날래, which means you wanna meet. And if you manage to read it, well done. Great job. Where the Jinwoo's name's written down is a red square thingy. I'm pretty sure that's a stamp. In Korea, when we use a stamp, we use a red ink, some type of the specific stamp, the little stamp. There's names in it. We use that one. I mean, these days people don't use it, but back in the day we used to use it. Here you can see on the background of the tiger, there is a Korean traditional cloth called the hanbok. And this is designed and then normally it looks more colorful. You can also try that on. So tourist place, it's like a Gyeongbok Palace. Around the Gyeongbok Palace you can also get the Korean clothes as well. And you can rent it for 2 or 4 hours and then you can walk around and then make a beautiful pictures. Stone sculpture here is called the Etiquette, which you can find it everywhere in a very important building in South Korea or Seoul. This is an imaginary creature and we believe that this one has a power to protect us and then make the bad things out of certain places. So you can see this sculpture in Korean palace or some buildings in Korea. Rumi is attacking Jinwoo. They are fighting on the rooftop. Roof style is that's a Korean traditional building rooftop. It looks like this. You can also find it. Some of the traditional buildings remain in the middle of the Seoul in a certain street. This guitar design reminds me of a specific type of Korean traditional artwork, which I already mentioned. Titled 라전칠기. So basically shellfish art. It was very common back in the day to decorate the furniture. And then again, another product. I'm gonna just put it here, the picture of that, and that looks beautiful. And then they just put little details on the guitar. It looks really cool, isn't it? Jinwoo and Rumi met privately second time, and then Jinwoo was waiting in this place. And this place actually exists. They took the design from the real place, and then there are several parts where the stone walls remain. So these are the stone wall to protect Seoul, although it looks really small and short because the other side is basically like a hill or the longer wall. There, this stone wall was actually the boundary. It used to be a boundary of the Seoul. A woman gave a Rumi bracelet. One is, I didn't know actually, but it is a Korean traditional bracelet. You can make it by yourself with some type of string. Then they talk to each other. The awkward moment, after the awkward moment, Jinwoo say, bye. And that one, yeah, I'm pretty sure the producer meant it. That's a Korean accent. And no one actually say, bye. They probably gonna say bye or bye or something like that. I don't know how to make it awkward, but anyway, but with Korean accent, bye can be bye. That's what we actually just say. And then yeah, that was interesting that they actually put the Korean accent there. Yeah, this is a Korean accent too. As soon as I hear this sound, oh, I know this sound. Bye, bye, bye. And in the middle of the fighting, there is this creature shows up. And yeah, I suspect a little bit like all the monsters from now on. This scene especially is roundy. Feels like the graphic designer team didn't have much time to till the deadline and then they just make it simplify. But they needed to put this character. So this character is basically iconic imaginary creature in Korea, which is called dokebi. And the dokebi is often translated as a goblin. The appearance here is the actual goblin looks like normal. And you might have seen the K-drama Goblin, and then there is a super hot guy, handsome, Gongyu, that guy. And I can recognize as soon as I see that because he has the iconic club here, the wooden club with spikes. And then that's the iconic weapon what dokebi is holding always. And Historically, they described not as hostile to other people. They normally like hang out with people and they make a joke and then prank. They love to, jump shock other people, or they love wrestling and then they just try to do some wrestling, the Korean traditional wrestling thingy called the shirim. Yeah, they normally just have a chill vibe and then they just like to hang out and have fun rather than deadly. But sometimes they can describe it as a hostile, like here, and she's fighting with that character. Goblin, not Gongyu. That's gonna be funny though. This time it is a little bit different from the reality. They get off from the subway and then there is Seoul, and there's no station called Seoul, like the Korean letters here. We don't have an exact name of the station, but we have something very similar, which is Tuksamjuonji. But it's a little bit different because in Seoul, most of the station has a type of the safety door, which we call the screen door, and it looks like this. But I just found the name is very similar to like a certain station in Korea. Right before they go onto the stage, there is a poster on the background, and then there is a Twice. The singers who participated in the movie, they also sang Take Down, as I mentioned, and I found it here. Joey and Mira ran into the stage, and then they sing 가자 가자, the random Korean, and then I'm pretty sure many of you already know that. 가자 basically means let's go, and then they're saying let's go, let's go. 가자 가자. After the breaking news of the roomie here, Saja boys say like, oh, we are sorry for the situation, and then we're gonna do the live show on the Namsan Tower, or Seoul Tower we say, and then you see a little tower here, and that's also the real place. In the middle of the Seoul, geologically middle of the Seoul, there is a mountain, there is a tower on it. So when you go there, you can actually see a great top-down view of the whole Seoul, and this is a very iconic tourist place in Seoul. Rumi, go to the place where Selin is. There you can see a stone sculpture. So I was able to recognize it, and then I could tell where it is right away, because this is a special, typical sculpture in Jeju Island, the southern island of the South Korea, a volcanic island. There are a lot of rubber stones as well. People make this kind of sculpture called the 돌하르방, means stone grandfather. They make a lot of stone grandfather. They believed traditionally they just put it everywhere and then they bring good luck, and then you can see everywhere in Jeju Island, only in Jeju Island. I can tell that Selin is in Jeju Island. It's one of the most beautiful places in South Korea, I would say. It's one of my favorite. You're gonna take the airplane and then you normally have to drive there, so if you don't have a driver's license in Korea, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but it has a great nature there. It's really beautiful and also safe because it's not active volcano. On the end credit, Mira is drinking something. And that one is a very typical convenience store drink. One of the most popular drink in the convenience store, I would say, is banana milk. And I could also tell right away it's banana milk because that specific brand who make the banana milk, very iconic shape, and it looks like that. And then Mira is drinking. When you come to Korea, you must try it. This is one of the things you must try, the banana milk. It is so amazing. This is one of the best sellers of the whole milky drink. Lastly, on the end credit, you can see Abby and then the other ajumas, the middle-aged ladies, are doing some type of the clapping. They do this and clapping back, clapping front, clapping back, clapping front. I have no idea how they actually know about this. This type of the clapping was trend, or maybe it's still trend for the old people. And then we think making clap is really healthy because it's some type of the exercise, and then it helps for metabolism, the blood circulation, they say. And you can see this kind of the movement when you go to the park early in the morning, and then group of the older people gonna make some type of the weird move, and then some people actually doing this kind of things. Like some people doing the power walking, which they showed actually in the movie as well, and then they might clap front and back, front and back. I cannot even make it. And they just put it here. What a little details or random details they can show. Are they actually Korean? I mean, they're Korean, I heard, but like not everyone there raised up in Korea, but they put a lot of Korean details there. Impressive. So that was all the Korean details of what I have found. And if you have any question about the whole movie, if you find any kind of scene that you are curious to why they act like that, if I missed something, just let me know in the comments and I'm gonna reply if you have any question. That's it for today, and I would like to say I really appreciate it watching such a long video. I hope you liked it and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day. Till the next time.